Hi everyone. Oh, I put my microphone on. Sorry about that. Eileen here. Now, Easter's coming along and spring is here, and also it will be Mother's Day soon. So I thought I'd share this card with you today. So this is my Lavinia stamps video tutorial for you, from me to you. And the images on here were all designed by Tracy Dutton, but it does use a Sweet Poppy stencil, and you won't find that on the Lavinia Stamps website. So you'll need to go to Sweet Poppy Stencils for that. Tracy Dutton from Lavinia Stamps designs a lot of stencils for Sweet Poppy Stencils, and they usually tie in with her stamped images. So that is a huge bonus, especially for me, because I like to use a combination of the two. Right, so enough of that. Apologies about yesterday. Just very quickly, this image is not in the pound line section. I thought it was, but it isn't. But if you look in the pound line on Lavinia Stamps, you'll find a lot of mini leaves, and there's a holly branch and various other pound stamps that will give you the same effect. This is on the Lavinia Stamps website, but it's in the mystical section with a much larger image and as a companion to it. So apologies for giving you the wrong information on that, but thank you for the feedback on this card. I've had loads of comments and it seems that you're loving it, so that's great. Back to this one. Right, let's get cracking. A piece of multifarious cardstock, A4 size. I've folded it, creased it and cut it to 14 centimetres in width by 17 centimetres in length. And now I'm going to place it onto a magnetic sheet along with the stencil from Sweet Poppy Stencils. And then you will need to tape it, because although it's firmly gripped by the magnetic sheet, it could allow the ink, if you didn't tape it up, to stray out to the outer edges and mark your card. So there we go. Right, I'm just checking that you're getting this okay. You are. So I'm starting off with shaded lilac and a makeup brush. You can use a smoothie, blending tool, whatever you like, stencil brush, but I'm just doing this. And the shaded lilac ink pad that I've got here is not very wet. It's quite dry, in fact, but it's ideal for this, so hopefully I won't get too much leakage underneath the stencil. So just coming down, trying to stay so that I'm coming in from the sides of the stencil, and then this side coming in from that, so it, and then up from the bottom, so it covers all of the image. I think the stencil is taking off a few bits of my brush, to be honest. I'm getting a few bits rubbing along over the image, a few bits of bristle. No real damage though. Right, so that's shaded lilac. The stems are hardest areas to do. I'm pressing quite heavily. I don't think I've got much there, but that pad is quite wet, dry. So if your pad is very wet, be careful it doesn't leak underneath the stencil, the ink. Change Victorian Velvet. Now this is wetter, so I'm not pressing so heavily. It's much inkier pad. Just giving a bit of shading around the side of the hair to add interest, and then over these flowers here, coming in from the sides and then down from the top. Not covering the whole of the flower, so that I've got a bit of depth with different shades. And up from the bottom, and again over here. I'm not touching the left hand side of the hair, I'm leaving that with the shaded lilac, just giving it a bit of shading with the pink. Right, now before you take the stencil off, add another one. Don't need to tape this down, and this is called Feather Leaf from Lavinia Stamps. Now I've got a bit of stray coloured ink on this, so just give it a wipe off with my damp cloth and then dry cloth. So dried off, so that's cleaned that. And Dusty Concord is the first one that I'm going to use. Now I'm leaving it on the other stencil so that I don't go outside of the area that I want to stencil, and that in fact is just the body of the hair. So just very lightly now, very light wrist action. I don't want to go up too far to the face, but I do want to put some stenciling on the back of the hair and the ears. Then I'm changing colours and brushes, and this is Wild Honey, and it is very wet, so taking some of it off and then just very gently, just a tiny amount, don't overdo that one. And that will get, oh, in fact, actually that was too tiny. So will I be able to, I don't know if I'll be able to marry that up. Oh yes, I will, look. Oh, that was handy. So yeah, just need a little bit more of the Wild Honey so that you can at least see the colour. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Okay, right. Okay, so that's it. Off we go. Take it off. Get rid of that. Stencil needs washing. Mind your fingers. Make sure that you use a brush instead of your fingers. They are very sharp like knives. I don't know if I mentioned it, but you won't find that stencil on the Lavinia stamp site, although it is designed by Tracy. You have to go to Sweet Poppy for that. Now I've got a bit of bleed here from the first stencil, so I'm taking a bit of kitchen towel and just very quickly rubbing some of that off. You'll get a few speckles of it if your ink pad is too wet, and mine was. And then to disguise that bleed area, a white pigment ink pen, and I'm just going to just get rid of the look. This ink pad, sorry, this pen, the ink will sink into the card, and trust me, you won't notice it when it's dry, but it just gets rid of that feathering look that you occasionally get when using the brushes on a metal stencil. So there's a bit more there than I would have liked, but I think I was rushing it a little. So take your time. And that gets rid of those. And there's a bit there under his chin. Yeah. And a bit there and a little bit there. I'm not going to do all of them. There's far more than I've had before when I've done this card. So I think I was a bit heavy-handed with the ink. And I should have put it on more in layers. There we go. But this white ink pen will amend all the problem. There we go. I think that's okay. A bit more there. A bit there and a bit there. Oh, I'm happy with that. I don't think a bit of stray ink is going to cause the world to come to a stop, is it? Right, okay. Next is, oh, take away this. Versafine Clair in Purple Delight. And Versamark Onyx Black. Or you can use Versafine Clair Nocturne, but Onyx Black is first. And the first image that I'm going to stamp is Little Pippin. And he's lovely, and I think he's on the pound section. So we'll go and just pop him. Yeah, just pop him there. Let him soak in, just gazing out of the window. One of my neighbours is doing yoga in her front garden with no clothes on. Oh, that's different. Right, that's that. And now, Versafine Clair Purple Delight onto the stamp called Words of Spring, which I thought was ideal for this. The spring has certainly hit this village. Beautiful flowers everywhere. Now you can't see this, but trust me, oh actually you can, because I'm going to use this. You need to take off the first generation of ink from this stamp. So that goes there. Then I'm starting at the first flower down. Keep it straight because beautiful font and you will be able to read the words, so make sure that they're up the right way. Down. And then over onto, there's this, no inking again, just keep going. That one. And then at the bottom again keep it, moving it over, so different levels, different widths. And then down again. And that covers up some of the white pen stuff that we were forced to do there. And finishes off my card. I enjoyed doing that. Thank you so much for all the lovely comments you're leaving me. I hope that you enjoyed that. I'll be back next weekend with 2 more video tutorials for you from Lavinia Stamps. Have a good week. Enjoy your Sunday. See you soon. Thanks for looking. It's appreciated. Bye-bye.